Welcome to my very first season ranking. To begin this, I will rank the seasons of Netflix's popular Spanish show, a Casa De Papel, also known in English as Money Heist. I'll be ranking each season from worst to best and giving my reasoning behind it. The fourth season was released to Netflix on April the 3rd and I have watched through it in one day as soon as possible so I can do this video.
D4 Music.
Number 4, Season 3. Despite this being in last place, it is still a pretty solid season. Just a few things I didn't like. The best thing about all these seasons is just how clever it is. With most films or series, if they need something which
D4 Music.
would make the storyline flow more easily, they kind of do something which would be a lot of effort or wouldn't work at all. But with this, they do something and then it flashes back to when they're all planning the heist and seeing them talk through, which I think is really good and important. From the first two seasons, the professor was always 2 steps ahead of the police. But in this season they introduced the new opposition, Alicia Sierra, who is nearly, or maybe is, as clever as the professor. So it's really end to end about who will win. In this season you can tell that the main original characters have grown to love each other all very much, and there's great emotion amongst them. Another great thing which you could say for all of the seasons, and in fact a lot of the things I'm going to say applies to all seasons, but the tension of everything is just so extreme in a good way. And it's really good to see the contrast. So you can see the people in the bank maybe having a panic attack and because things aren't going to plan, and then you can see their reasoning as well. But then it also flips to the police tent outside the bank and what they're thinking. It's very good to see both insights onto the situation. And I know he's gone a bit crazy after the whole thing which happened in the first 2 seasons, but bringing Arturo back into it was just really
D4 Music.
obvious and really unnecessary. I don't know if someone would really do that in real life. And I might just be annoyed at this because Arturo is just extremely annoying, but it seemed a bit off and unusual. In this season, the new characters they've had to bring in because it's a big heist and they need new people. They don't seem, obviously Palermo is in charge of the whole thing, but it just doesn't seem, they just seem really annoying and a lot of them are irrelevant. From the first 2 seasons, I'll touch on it more in a bit, but there's just constant tension which gets you really engaged in watching it. This will have the tension and then it would cut to a flashback from an old wedding which the professor has attended, and it just slows the pace down. It happens throughout the season. Whenever it came up, I was just we have to do this again. Some parts are relevant to people's emotions or maybe it has something to do with the plan, but
D4 Music.
it just slows it down. I was honestly tempted to skip those parts. Money Heist Season 3 is still solid, but it comes in last place due to the big tone shift and the flashbacks, which slows down the pace of the season. Season 3 has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is the highest possible score, and I can't give you what it is on IMDb because they don't rate the seasons. They do rate the episodes. It's possible to rate the episodes, so I could do the average of the episode ratings, but I'm just going to leave it. I could do the average for all the episodes, but I'm not going to because they can change really quickly, because not many people know you can rate the episodes on IMDb. So there's only like a few hundred people, so the rating's quite low. But overall, I would give season 3 a 7 out of 10. So pretty solid, but it doesn't reach what the other seasons have reached. Number 3, season 4. So number 3 is going to be the newly released season 4. Once again, I think it fixes a lot of the tonal shifts from season 3 to make it feel more like the old days, but there is still the flashback. So the first pro, a lot of people might not like this, but I personally do, but this does not feel much like any other season of the show they've done. I won't reveal what happens for obvious reasons, but about, I think, 3 or 4 episodes in, it takes a complete different turn, which was really unexpected, and it's actually quite cool to see all these characters in that scenario. And I can't really say much more. I'm probably going to repeat the exact same thing I'm saying now, but I can't say too much more from what I've said from season 3, but just all of the seasons, they're just really clever in how they think things through, and the stuff that happens in the last 2 episodes is honestly just mind-blowing. Like, it may be a bit over the top, but it's honestly really fun how you can just see how things would play out, and like how he's like organised every little like timing and measurement, and it's just quite cool to see. And also, like all the other seasons, seeing the contrast from both inside the bank and inside the police and outside the bank is just really good and really important to the storyline. The characters' emotions runs really high throughout this whole season. And it's honestly really great to see how far they have come, all of them.
D4 Music.
They wouldn't hesitate to shoot each other in the beginning, and now they all love each other as a family. Just the way the season plays out, I honestly could see a big thing that happened was going to come within the first 2 episodes of the season. I don't know if it was meant to be a big shock. Obviously it was shocking to see, but just the way things were going throughout the season, it didn't surprise me, and I could honestly see it coming from a mile away. And as mentioned as well in season 3 cons, just the flashbacks again, they slow things down. I was tempted to skip them again. They don't add much to the story, but like a little, just to specify by the way, when I say the flashbacks, I mean the wedding one, not the ones of the class showing their thought process through all the little tiny steps, because that's great. But the ones to the wedding,
D4 Music.
they don't really seem really necessary. I'm guessing they're trying to make you like Palermo as the season goes on. But I don't know, they don't add anything to the plot, they just bring some more character depth, which obviously character depth is good, but this whole series has so much character depth. Well, actually no. The whole point of this series is that they don't know much about each other. That's why they use the cities as their names, because they don't want to know their first names. So bringing in out of nowhere just like a look back into someone's life isn't really necessary and is out of place. I'm guessing they will eventually rate it, but as of filming this, there is no score for season 4, probably because it's only just come out. So, don't know, but I'm guessing it would probably be in the 90s, maybe high 80s, possibly 100. 100%. I don't know. But I personally would give it an 8 out of 10. So it's a good season. It takes things in a different direction, and I really enjoyed it. Number 2, Season 2. As said, all of these seasons are pretty good. Season 3 being solid, and the rest being good. But these top 2 are a different level. It was very hard to choose, but I've eventually chosen Season 2 to be at second.
D4 Music.
It has been good in all the seasons, but in this season and Season 1 noticeably, the characters' chemistry is just really unique and great. I haven't seen chemistry like this in any other film. I don't know, maybe because I'm so used to seeing films and TV shows from the UK or the US. Maybe because it's more of a European thing. I don't know. Just like Season 3, this season has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the difference is I'd give a 9 out of 10 to this season. Number 1, Season 1. Back at the beginning, I think the very first season is slightly better than Season 2, but just credit to all seasons, to be honest, they're all great. I've covered a lot of the positives from this season and the others. It all applies. Great character chemistry, absolutely genius with the thought process, and just the great contrast from both police sides. And not to forget the great tension that this whole series just has in itself. Just like Season 2, I have no cons for Season 1. I do not have anything more that I can add to it. It's just maybe this season does slightly better, and because it's such a new experience, it's quite unforgettable. There is no critic score on Season 1, maybe because it wasn't as well known when it first came out, but the audience score was 87%, so I'm just going to go off that. So the first season actually had the lowest score, unless you're counting the lack of score for Season 4 at the moment as 0, but I think that all comes in. Yeah, so Season 1, 87%, just like Season 2, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. And now I'll give my overview on the whole series. I've mentioned great tension, characters, just the cleverness throughout the whole series. It's definitely worth the watch. It's really good. On Rotten Tomatoes overall, it has 100%, which is great. And on IMDb, it has 8.5, so definitely recommend it. Although, most people watching this probably aren't fluent in Spanish, so what I did, you can either obviously listen to it in Spanish and have the English subtitles, but I just did the English audio. Thank you for watching my first season's ranking. I'm looking to do more rankings and reviews in the future, so I'm glad things, for me personally, are feeling much better in filming, much more confident, much more open, so hopefully the content will only improve from here. Thank you.